get on here really quick and do my question and answer video that I've been talking about. I'm not going to go into too much detail. If you, like if you want to ask like more questions, then, that's fine. But, especially for this next one, I don't know. I just don't really want to get into it. They kind of tie together. It's pretty much why didn't I breastfeed at all with Benjamin, like why I didn't even try, and did I breastfeed with my other two boys. I did try with Christian, but it didn't work out, and it just made me like really, really depressed. I think because I had a C-section and it just wasn't going too well, and I didn't get like a lot of help in the hospital, and there's not many lactation consultants where I live, and nobody in my family has ever breastfed except for my two grandmothers, and they've passed away like a long time ago, like when I was a little girl. So my mom never breastfed, none of my four sisters breastfed, none of my aunts ever breastfed, none of my sister-in-laws ever breastfed, like nobody. So I just didn't really know anything about it, and yeah, like with Christian, I tried really hard, and I did it for a few weeks, and I was so depressed, and I felt, I just didn't feel, I felt like there was something wrong with my body, just because I ended up with a C-section. I couldn't breastfeed. I was like, geez, can I do anything right? You know, everything's supposed to be natural, and just come to you, and it just didn't. And with Gabriel, I had the same issues, and that was actually worse that time. I didn't have as good of health insurance, and no lactation consultant came to see me at all the whole time I was in the hospital, which was only for 2 days with him. And the nurses, they were just like telling me different things, and finally like the night going into the morning that I was getting released, so like a few hours before I was released, I told my husband, I was like, can you just go out and ask them for a bottle, because I can't do this. So that's pretty much where I did not try with Benjamin, and I know it probably makes it sound selfish, and so be it. I wasn't trying to be selfish. It's just I know how depressed that it has made me, and I know breast milk is better. There's like no question about that. So obviously, because then I wouldn't have felt, you know, kind of bad for not giving them, you know, breast milk if I didn't feel that way. It's just, you know, I don't know. I just did not want to get depressed, and I want to be a happy mom, and I think that is the best gift that I can give my children, more than, you know, anything else. Because I know that, like, nobody can make all the right decisions, and we're not going to do all the right things, so I at least want to be happy in the choices that I am making for them. And the other big reason why I didn't try with Benjamin, besides that, was just because Gabriel, being so little himself, he's a huge mama's boy, and he's only 13 months old. So, you know, I just didn't want to, I want to be able to spend as much time with each of my kids as I possibly can. Okay, so that's that question. Did I find it super different going from Christian to Gabriel? Yes. That was the hardest adjustment. I mean, becoming a mom for the first time was, like, kind of hard. Because there's, like, this life dependent on you. But when I went from Christian to Gabriel, for me personally, I was like, oh my gosh, because I was able to give Christian all of my time, all of my attention. When he was napping, I was able to just go lay back down, so I wasn't that tired. What? Here, give me that stuff.
Making a video?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, that was my husband. Put this stuff down. So, I was able to give him all my time, all of my attention, and then, like I said, when he was tired, when I was tired and he was napping, I just could nap, and um, it wasn't that hard. Once you got into a routine, once you got into the swing of things, it was fine. And then when I went to Gabriel, like, I remember my husband went back to work, I was like, oh my gosh, because they wouldn't nap at the same time, so I was up 24/7 practically, trying to juggle things and trying to feed Christian lunch while getting Gabriel, like, needed to eat, and he needed a bottle, and Christian wasn't potty trained, neither one of them were, so changing one diaper and changing another diaper, and it was just constant go, 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 and until I finally learned how to multitask and how to make adjustments in my life, like either getting up before them to get in the shower if I needed to, or showering like right after they went to bed, like before I could do those kinds of adjustments, or I don't know, just learning how to go without sleep because there is really no way to kind of juggle that in. There was a couple of days here and there that they might have went down at the same time, and I was able to, get things done or sleep. So yeah, it's a huge difference, and you do adjust. And after that, once that adjustment's over and you've learned to multitask, adding a third or fourth child isn't too much different. So, first time moms, I guess they were asking for tips. So, getting yourself on a routine and a schedule. Since you're a first time mom, sleep when your baby sleeps. Get as much rest as possible in those first, couple months when they're not sleeping through the night. And then after that point, like once they're sleeping through the night, you can use the time that they're napping to get like housework done. Allow people to help. Don't feel like you need to do everything yourself, and that if you need help, that you're not, like, you're less of a mother, because that's not the case. Make sure you take care of yourself every once in a while. Don't forget about you. I know I did that with my first son. Make sure you have time to get away, maybe get your nails done or get your hair done. If you can, it's really good. Also, like maybe a date night, even if you can't do it once every week. I know my husband and I can't. We do it once a month. We try. Just to kind of, just to be us. What else? Remember that new dads are learning too, and then I know I was guilty of this. I did not want my husband doing anything because he didn't do it like the way I wanted him to do it. So, I've, totally am more laid back now. And not to sweat the small stuff. I don't know. I don't get so mad now when one of my children are, like, pulling one of those. It just happened to me. Those little cotton swabs, for your ears. They were, like, all over the floor. Big deal. So, yes. What to expect during labor and delivery, again, for a first-time mom. I guess you can learn a lot just by, like, watching people's labor and delivery stories, what to expect. But I guess the biggest thing is to expect the unexpected, and just know that you can have a plan and you can have an idea of what things are going to be like, but sometimes those plans go right out the window and things just, don't happen the way you saw them happening, and it's just a kind of, I don't know, I would just plan for everything and just expect the unexpected. It could happen, right? I definitely didn't think with my first that I was going to end up with a 30, almost 40-hour labor and a C-section. I never thought that, and so I never even read about C-sections. So it was, like, very scary, and it was just not a good experience because I just didn't think it was ever going to happen to me. So How to increase your chances of getting a VBAC. This is just my personal opinion. It's just so many variables and different studies done. It depends on why you've had your first C-section. It's so many different things. If you labored at all, just, yeah, where you live. Like, some hospitals have their own, like, regulations, and some doctors. So this is just what I think has helped me get my VBACs. I was induced with my first son at 38 weeks on a completely closed cervix, completely not doing anything. I don't even think I was effaced at all. I think they said if anything, maybe 50% effaced, so I was nothing. And I was induced for preeclampsia, so the next time I got pregnant, I watched, like, there's this really high protein diet you can do, and so I didn't want to get the preeclampsia again, so I wouldn't have to be, like, induced at, like, 38 weeks and stuff. So that was one thing that I did to increase my chances. The other thing that I did was, I did for Gabriel, I did have a midwife. The practice I was going to had OBGYNs and midwives, and I did see a midwife, so the OBGYNs actually wouldn't even do a VBAC, so, I never used this, but they do say that doulas help. I did have my sister who had, 3 VBACs now, so that was kind of like my support system, and she had a natural birth for the last 2, so she helped me a lot. And I know I said that in my last labor and delivery video that, you know, if it wasn't for her, I don't know, I think I would have lost my mind. But if you don't have that kind of support, then definitely get a doula, because that's what they're there for. What else? So try not to be induced. I know I was induced with Gabriel and Benjamin, and it worked out fine for me, but I think the big difference was that I waited till I was 41 weeks. And with Gabe, my fluids were kind of getting low, so that's why they induced with him. And I was 3 centimeters with both before I was induced, so my body was, like, more ready. I honestly think the big thing for me personally that slowed Christian's labor down and made it stall out was getting the epidural. Everything was progressing fine and was wonderful. And as soon as I got my epidural, everything just stopped. And so, for me, it meant a lot to not get the epidural the second time, because that's just what my intuition, my woman's instincts kind of told me that's what kept me from, you know, having my vaginal birth with him. So, I did not get the epidural. I, you know, made it through it the best that I could, and it's hard. I'm not going to put anybody down for not being able to do it without an epidural, because I know with both the last boys, at the end, I told them, like, I wanted an epidural, so, I mean, it was too late, but it's hard. So, but try. And I guess that's about it. Just, I mean, it's talk to your doctor and try to wait before, because, like, a lot of doctors won't let you have a VBAC, like, if your kids aren't, like, 2 years apart. So you need to, like, research and do your research. That's the best thing. And, like, follow your own instincts. Like I said about, I think that the epidural slowed my labor down. So, now the fun question. Would I like to have a girl? Yes. I love my boys. They've just, I don't know, they bring me so much joy and so many experiences that I would not have had otherwise. And they're just, I don't know, they're my boys, you know, they're like mama's boys. But at the same time, I would love to have one daughter. That would be just, I don't know, I think that would be wonderful, and I would feel like my family was just totally complete and just perfect, like, to me. And she would have her 3 older brothers, and I would have my little girl, and I don't know, I really do. I cannot wait to, like, if I ever do have a girl, like, be able to buy all the girl clothes, like, this stuff is so cute and pink and frilly, and I actually saw clothes like with like sparkly leggings, and I'm like, oh my gosh, because I'm so girly, and yeah, I would love to have a girl. And just because my mom and I are so close, like even beyond the clothes aspect of it, my mom and I are really, really close, and I just really hope that my daughter and I were as close as my mom and I are, and just to share that, you know, I don't know, that womanly bond type thing, and I'm all excited just thinking about it. So, is the next baby going to be a surprise? Yes, but I don't know how much of a surprise. And I know you're probably thinking, what do you mean? Me personally, I want to go all the way. I want to go all the way through my pregnancy and get to the labor and delivery and push my baby out, and waiting for that amazing moment that I've waited all of those weeks for, to hear if it's a boy or it's a girl. My husband is a huge planner. He's like, I don't like that. So I'm trying to kind of get him sold on that idea, and he's kind of trying to get me sold on his idea, which I think is a cute idea, by the way. Hold on, let me get Gabriel. Come here, buddy. Come here. His idea is to get a gender cake, go to our 20-week ultrasound, have the ultrasound tech pretty much put in an envelope, whether it's a boy or a girl, seal it, you take it to a bakery, then you tell them, like, I want a gender cake. They dye the inside of the cake, the white part, they dye it pink or blue, depending on if you're having a boy or a girl, and then you cut it. And when you cut the cake, you know, you'll see what you're having. Excuse me. And he wants to do it at like 30 weeks so that we have time to like get things together, and but I don't know. So, I mean, what do you guys think is a cute idea? Would you go the whole 40 weeks and, you know, wait for that moment, or would you do the gender cake? And I mean, I think that's a neat idea too. So, I don't know, like make it a special night and go out to dinner and then come home and cut your cake. That would be neat. But there's just something, I really want to find out that that moment of birth too. So, what would you guys do? And that's all of my questions for right now. I think somebody actually on one of my videos, I don't think I wrote it down really quick, asked if these two, well, not these two, if him and Christian were sharing a bedroom. And yes, they share a bedroom, and then Benjamin has his own room, which is like a little bit smaller. It's like the perfect size for a baby room. So, do you want to say hi? What's your shirt say? It says, my big brother thinks I'm super cool. Can you say hi? Say hi. Say hi. You're silly. He's waving with his other hand down here. So, that's it. That's all my questions. And Benjamin's 1 month, doctor appointment is tomorrow. So I'm going to do his 1 month update tomorrow night. And that's it. So, hope everybody is doing great.